All right, welcome. Of course. Well, okay, so you're gonna hear some noise. I have to do this now. This is the only time I have to do this, or it's not gonna get done. And it's been a while. It's been long enough already since I recorded. So today is Saturday, November 9th. I think this is episode 129, but whatever. This is my Ethics Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because yes, there's a blog. The blog can be found at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And this is one of the ones you may want to go to the blog because there's an article there that you may want and get the link and everything. Remember, that's my chirping here. And someone wanted to donate money for uh, that noise is outside the window. I have nothing to do with that. 9-volt batteries, but there's other circumstances. But I promise you, this will be over with by the end of the month. So if you could just bear with it till then, and hopefully we won't be here anyway, right? Anyway, all right. So also rss.com has a transcript, and oh, I was gonna learn how to say hello in German. Okay, next time I'm gonna say welcome and thank you in German because there's um new subscribers from Germany. So thank you, and I hope that transcript helps. All right, Spotify.com has video and audio, and then Rumble, of course, my FX Buddies, and did I say the blog was at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com? Okay, plus wherever you are enjoying this content, if there's a more description, open, info, something like that, link, click on that, and there's a link to the blog in there. All right, so let's get to it. So I haven't posted because mostly everything, even in Iraq, was about our elections. They were showing speeches. They showed their speeches, each party's person's speech, but just covered it in Arabic. They were even showing voting, what is it? The voting precincts. So, and that was really interesting for me because, of course, I was watching it. It was so strange to be watching Iraqi TV, but seeing sites of America, different sites, but it was so wonderful because it just shows I don't know what you would call it, but there's people of all ages, sizes, makes, you know, ethnicities, everything, voting aside each other, waiting in line aside each other. And yeah, really great. Really great. All right. So anyway, so now things are getting back to whatever. I don't want to say normal. So hopefully I'll be posting more, uh, dare I say, regularly. All right. So I want to, well, there's some things. Okay. There's like all these people are saying, oh, the, geez, okay, I don't want to say the names. Okay, voila, right? That group, those types of groups. I think there are even articles out there saying, oh, this person is scared of, the new president and they're calling for an end to the wars. And I just want to say that is misleading because they've been calling for an end to the wars, right? Everyone has. The whole world has been saying, hey, we need to end these wars. And they've been talking about negotiations, but they never, you know, they fall through, right? The negotiation talks, which are mediated through other countries, right? They fall through. Now, currently, there is a Hochin, Hochin, a name like that. They claim to be working for Lebanon, But see, they're like, no, we want both. We want Gaza and Lebanon ceasefire. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I just saw that and it didn't sit well with me because they've been asking for ceasefires. Just the talks have never, haven't been successful. All right. Now, but I actually, there probably will be a different outcome right now, but maybe not. So, and I will show you at the end. You know how I put the military stuff at the end. Okay, so now, Friday. Well, it's been a good week for good announcements. Okay, so I'm just going to cover a few of these, but this was Friday, even though today is Saturday, November 9th, right? This was the big news Friday, including increasing number of branches. Sudani issues 6 directives to develop the financial and banking system. So he didn't wait for House of Representatives. He maybe conferred with Council of Ministers. Who knows? But the way this is presented is it's him. He came out and said, this is what I want done, and I want it done. Now, there is no time frame on this, but when, you know, we've come to discover when they put things out in writing, it's probably already done or already in the works. So if you didn't read this, you should come. He talks about, you should come read it. It's on the blog, and everything's free. You don't even have to put in your email. You go to the blog and you can access all of these articles in full. And I even have the link to the original article in Arabic for free. Okay? Anyway, so it's all about here's just a general gist of it. He's like, okay, the Baghdad area banks are up to par with the modern technology, um, banking laws, international banking laws. Now I want the rest of the country to get on board. And he even names like the villages. I mean, not the names of the villages, but it even says the villages here, right here. The media office pointed out that the enhancement of financial inclusion in the governance by providing banking services to different segments of society, including districts, sub-districts in villages, and I can't say this word, rural areas. That's everybody. He wants the whole country to have the same, here's a little bit more, um, facilities, right? Mobile applications, modern technologies, online banking. He wants it all throughout the whole country. So, and then you probably, I don't know if we went over there was an article that came out, what was it? The private sector. They want the private sector to now be on board with with the point of sale machines, electronic payment, uh, December 20th, I think. He wants no more cash, but yeah, right. That's not gonna happen. But the July of 2025 is when he's giving all the private sector businesses, right, to be on the point of sale machines. That was my phone that went off. All right. So, he's got plans, and I do think they recognize, well, they still have issues with the internet, right, being on 24 hours. But 2024 was January 1st, right? Was supposed to be no more dollars being used, right? So I think that's why he was like, okay, December 20th of this year, you stop using cash. But how can they stop using cash if they don't have the point of sale machines yet, right? So why even put that out there? So then he gave them the leeway of, more than a little bit more than half the year of next year to get done. So I just hope the people don't give up. So why go through the trouble of printing new denominations and putting them out if you're going to be cashless, right? So it's a thing that they want, but it's not going to happen. Not totally, anyway. All right. So this article came out. Alialak describes the parallel dollar as abnormal. There is great stability in prices. This article really is blah, 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 right? It's really nothing. I just find it interesting that he put out this. So Sudani can demand the banks do things in the banking sector. There's a lot of things that Sudani can say, hey, this is what I want. But he cannot, supposedly, cannot tell the CBI what to do, right? So I find it interesting that Alak puts an article out talking about we've kept the price of the dollar stable, but he means the official dollar. And see right here, 13.20 per dollar is the official CBI price, and it has been stable. And the parallel market is it is what it is. All right, let's see. So they are going to uh, they're going to extend their legislative um, session to December 9th, December 11th. Yeah, December 11th. And hopefully they'll get a lot of bills approved. But right now they have a certain five, which are nothing we care about, but they're very important to them, especially this general amnesty law. That's a big one. That's probably the one that they were fighting over. If you remember, I was saying they were fighting in the House of Representatives. It was probably that one. And I'm gonna have to pause. Hold on. All right. Okay. So this state administration support steps. Oh, you could read that. That is the budget materials related to oil. So all of a sudden, Sudani comes out and says, "Oh, we've adjusted the 2025 budget schedules to pay Kurdistan some probably back pay that's due them." So there's that. Then I think there's another one coming. Now this is very interesting. They opened, well, there's an embassy in Jordan, right? So there's already an embassy in Jordan. But now, as an experiment, they're going to let Iraqis who are there, that live there, get their national ID card there. So I think it says experiment. Because I haven't seen, but I don't really look for it either. There may be a timeline, a deadline where they have to have their national ID card, no matter where they are in the world. Um, so this says, and not burdening them with the trouble of traveling to issue this important document for them and their families. So the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan will be available for them to get their national cards. So very interesting. And we know they also made that available here, right? When he came here was that April? All right, here's another article about the gas licensing rounds, which will support the budget. Here. Okay, so Thursday, this was huge, huge news. So they opened the Port of Fa. Well, it's part of it. Part of it is open. Um, see here. Okay, see it says Korean company, and then here's the Korean guy giving him a placard. There's a document in there. There's a document in there. It's covered with glass, or probably something stronger than glass, and that's going to be posted there. So here's Sudani right here. If you've never seen Sudani. So he left there, he went there. I mean, everything good that you can think of, all the superlatives, all the wealth building, future generation, anything good that you can say about this applies to that. So I don't even talk about it because I don't believe it has anything to do with the RV. See, there he was giving a speech. But it's a big deal for them. Big deal. And they already have plans all the way out to 2038. And also, so they are going to do some experiments because the Houthis, they've been quiet. And someone decided, well, hey, maybe we'll run let's just test a ship through the Red Sea. Well, that woke them up. And yeah, they attacked the ship. So whoever that was, I guess they know not to do that again. So I'm wondering, will they mess with these truckers or whatever? So the ships are going to come in and then they'll unload the ships and then they can put the cargo, I guess, on trucks, just like we do here, right? Trucks, train, different ways that it gets into the middle of the country. But this port is in the range for the Houthis to kablooey something. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Maybe Sudani has had some indication, some communication, and then also he has said we're neutral. We're not letting any country use our land, right? Us or Iran for war. So maybe the Houthis will be, say, okay, we're gonna leave Iraq out of this. I'm hoping that's what will happen. Okay, so big deal. You could read about that. Matter of fact, if you want to see it, go to the Iraqi government Twitter, which I've told you guys you should be following them. I mean, everything comes out in Arabic, but it's just pretty cool to see everything. They're really showing the roads that have been completed, the schools that have been completed, and there's two different videos about this Port of Bob thing that shows you all about it. All right, so that was here. Rafadan announced their comprehensive banking system is now in 48 branches. All right, here is they've put a government agency for digital transformation together. This was a pretty big deal. They had a nice little conference there and talked about it. All right. So now this is major. Iraq share in the IMF. And remember, last week or 2 weeks ago, they pumped up their share of the SDR, right? I hope you remember that. This is the IMF. So if you don't know, you might want to look into the IMF. But so the IMF doesn't sell anything. The way they get money is countries deposit money into them. Then they make loans from that money, right? And not every country is a member state of the IMF. But so the bigger your holdings are, the heavier your vote is, right? So, but also somehow the IMF is tied into determining the value of a country's currency as well. They have a say so in that too. So they is this the one? Yeah. So today, and what day was this? This is older. I mean, not older, but I think it's been 8 days since I recorded. So, well, it doesn't say what day it is, and it's really not important. But Iraq intends to increase its share. Oh Lord, there's another truck. Okay, Iraq intends to increase its share in the IMF fund by the equivalent of 1.45 trillion dinars. So notice they use dinars and not dollars, even though I think they're putting dollars in the IMF. But if I was the IMF, I would take dinar because they know what's about to happen with dinar, right? But anyway, so see, it says right there, which will support its voting power within the fund. Why do they have any voting power at all, right? With their program rate, okay? Because they knew what was going to happen, right? So the which will support its voting power within the fund, contribute to attracting investments, creating a promising business environment, and achieve a real development, thus addressing the problem of inflation in the labor market and implementing the components of the government program. So that is major. That's pumping up their um, international appearance, right? Showing that they have the reserves to back up their currency. And then the fact that they did the SDRs just 2 weeks ago, now the IMF, yes, major, major. Boring. Doesn't mean we're going to the bank tomorrow, but it's still major. Okay, this was very interesting. Halal shares without interest at $100. The first company to enter Mosul. There's a video, but it's not on YouTube, so I can't show it. Um, yeah, I'll see if they put it, but that website, they tend to keep all their media to themselves. So you have to go to their site, which is smart, right? You have to go to their site to see it. So, and profits, Zane Cash, and I don't know what FIB is. But basically what this is, it's remember I've explained to you guys there's something called Sharia law, and in that law, it also has rules about money. And in the Sharia law, they're not allowed to earn interest or be charged interest. But there is some way that they profit, right? And that's what that word halal means. So they are a brokerage company, but they're going to train them. So Planet of Profit, I believe is the name of the company, and there's his name, says that it is the first officially registered company to enter Mosul and provide training services for those wishing to trade stocks on global stock exchanges. So yeah, look, there's $100 for beginners and $50,000 for professionals. So yeah, so who do they think has that kind of money, right? Just preparation for what's coming. So if you want to read that, that's pretty neat. And then if you want to see the video, it's in Arabic, but the link is right there, right? All right. So now here, I did a quick video of this yesterday because I was we have to be very sensitive with the names that we say. But I was like, I want to know when they're going to visit each other. When are they going to meet? That's what I want to know. And then not too long after I said that, this came out. Prime Minister and the T-Man agreed to coordinate to end wars in the region. So here's when they do that like that, it's a phone call, right? They have the phone thing there indicating it's a phone call. So if you want to read that, there it is. It's a very short article, but if you follow me on YouTube, you saw it yesterday, and a couple of people wanted the link, and so there you go. There's the link. It'll go directly to that video. I mean that article. Okay, here's another article about 100. Excuse me. Article 140. Dispute resolved. Well, we thought it was already resolved, but I think there's still little issues they're working out. This article is long and boring. And again, what is exciting about it is they always seem to run Article 140 articles when Dinarland is really expecting the RV to happen. And so here we are, some in Dinarland are really expecting the RV to happen. And we got an article from Aliyah Locke. We got Sudani saying get all the banks in the country up to snuff. And then they increased their share in the IMF. And now there's an article about Article 140. I just thought that was interesting. And if you don't know what it is and you want to learn what Article 140 is, that is definitely a good article to read. Again, boring, but full of information. And yeah, so I put it there because I know some people like to read them. 2025 budget schedules. Unjustified delay raises Parliament's concern. Again, I feel the way that I see this, I don't worry about this being that they're behind. I see it more that Parliament is whining about they haven't been able to see the budget schedules, but I think that's for a reason because they're the ones who manipulated the 2024 budget schedules that we have yet to see. And I know someone put out that the HCL was in the Gazette. It was not. It was an amendment to, now it was a new Gazette, but that's no big deal. They've been posting new Gazettes, pretty regularly. But they still, look, now they're at 4,800 and we're still waiting for 4,782. So the HCL is not in the Gazette. And what they did post was an amendment to an investment law from 2009. But also keep in mind the next time, because I'm sure something like that is going to come about. Remember, the HCL is huge news. And if it was out and in the Gazette, it would be everywhere. It wouldn't just be on um, one independent person's Twitter feed. It would be everywhere in Dinarland. All the gurus would be talking about it, or information providers, whatever. So remember that too. Anything, if the new rate happens, that's going to be everywhere. It's not going to be just on one little YouTuber's channel, right? So try not to. I don't like when people pump stuff like that and try to get people excited when it's not time yet, you know? Anyway, all right. So yeah, so that's what I think. They're clearly working on the 2025 budget, like I said, because Sudani was like, "Oh yeah, we've amended the 2025 budget to pay Kurdistan." Anyway, so yeah, all right. And so here, remember I talked about the general amnesty law and how it's important to them? Well, this guy, this Saleh Mutlaq, he is a former something in the government. And you see what he says about the general amnesty law? It's designed for thieves. So when I saw that, I was like, well, they went and got an ex-person from the government. He's now he's over this whatever that is, but he was in the government before. And I believe it says in here what he used to do. But so he gives all his reasons of why he's not for the general amnesty law. I think it's the way that it's written now, because they've had amnesty before. But this particular law, there's something in there that they are on both sides are very passionate about. But if it's not important, why am I talking about it? Look whose name is here. Nuri al-Maliki. And so Mutlaq is saying if you pass this law as it is, he will be covered. And look at this. Maliki is now influential in decision making and the kingmaker. Wow. So that's pretty deep. And see, there's people who, the elites, remember there's people with money who are for Maliki, and then there are people who are not. All right. And so just to follow up with this, um, and he goes into ISIS, and Maliki had a hand in ISIS, right? So, oh, and then look at this. He warned of the danger of the new Middle East project. So that's out there, and when I saw that, I just did a little bit of a history, and we're almost done. There's just two more articles. I went back and tried to see. I don't recall Sudani saying anything about a new Middle East project. So maybe it is out there. Maybe someone else is talking about it, and maybe it's not good, right? And in my definition of good is building up the people, the citizens, getting Iran out of the power positions in Iraq. That's what I would consider something that's good for Iraq, right? But this is bigger than Iraq. It says a new Middle East project. So, well, I was going to say we'll see, but hopefully we won't be here to see. All right. So then he spends all that time talking about Maliki, and here Maliki warns against the explosion of internal crisis and the activity of Ba'ath party cells. And that Ba'ath is Baath, and that is a historical party. Uh, it's not important, but that was a big part of Iraq. Even when we got there in 2003, they helped us. And there's a documentary, very boring documentary. I don't recall the name of it, but that's how I know about it because I watched that. And yeah. Anyway, so trust me, there's still remnants of people who love Saddam. There's still remnants of people who love this Ba'athist party and want it to come back. So it's very interesting, in my opinion. All right. So here, for those people who were putting out that the Houthis and the other groups of that nature uh, weren't were surrendering because they were so scared of the new president elect. Yeah, they came out and dropped ballistic missiles and they took down an American drone. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Well, anyway, so it's like I said, they had been quiet. The Houthis had been quiet. They hadn't been doing anything. And a matter of fact, I don't think we were dropping kablooies on Yemen either. But as soon as all that talk about, oh, the Houthis are saying, let's call out the war, huh? They said, oh, you forgot. You forgot we were here, huh? Anyway, so that's why I was saying, we have to be careful. There's a lot of people who like to put out stuff, clickbait. You know what clickbait is. But anyway, all right. And that's why I put the links there so you can go see it for yourself. You can't say I'm putting out false information. This is articles that come straight from Iraq. All right. I have a feeling I'm going to post tomorrow, which will be Sunday. Um, I'm hoping something good will come out that'll be post worthy. If not, I like to keep these at 30 minutes, so there's stuff that I could cover. All right. That I didn't cover here. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking on me. Um, thank you for the kind comments and thank you for new followers. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. But accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay on your bills. And if there's a follow, what is it? Follow, subscribe, join, something like that. Wherever you're listening or watching, click that because I don't post regularly. And if everything works as it is supposed to, when I do, if you activate that button, when I do post, you'll be notified. All right, now enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are enjoying this content, and until next time.